We are starting soon, 𝘁𝗵𝗏 with you2, 5:05 at 5:05. So now it's exactly 5:05. You are with you2 in 𝘁𝗵𝗏, together with my friend, advisor, accountant, supporter, you name it, long-time friend who's an accountant by profession. Now, this is the first episode of many that I have initiated together with my team to see how we can help, support, educate people during this challenging time. And this being the first episode, and money being the commodity under the current situation, I thought this was the most important thing that we can talk about. So today we're going to talk about managing finance, keeping your books, many stuff. Yeah. So before I go any further, I like to introduce my guest, someone who has lots of experience, an accountant by profession, who was a senior consultant with the Big Four, 𝗺𝗺𝗵𝗏, and he has also trained many companies, many organizations in many places, many companies, GLCs, MNCs. And without further ado, I like to hear from him a couple of things about managing finance and stuff like that. 𝘁𝗺𝗿 sir, welcome to 𝘁𝗵𝗏 with you2.
Okay, today I would like to start with anyone need to know how to keep finance in a proper way so that you can prosper and you can save money and so on. Now, see, anyone, that means a householder. A householder also need to keep accounts. Now, let me give you an example. I want to go and talk about a little bit about my grandmother, who do not know how to read or write. But what she always does is, at the end of the month, she will ask somebody and tell the person, hey, look, this is what I need for the whole month, and there will be a list. And this list will be presented to the provision shop, and the provision fellow will get all these things and then come and deliver in the house. She buys everything, and then she also knows how much of money that's coming in. And then she also knows how to save the money. And eventually she bought properties, lands worth more than 20 acres, A lady. So I was so surprised. She keeps accounts. When I look back my life, I used to see she keeps finance, she keeps accounts, she keeps what is the money coming in, how much the money going out per month, how much I can save. Fantastic.
So what you're trying to say is, even not so educated, we don't want to use the word uneducated, right? Uneducated can sound many things. Academically she might not be educated, but otherwise apparently this grandmother of yours was very educated. Educated in terms of learning to manage her money, her finances correctly, and that's how she bought land and stuff like that. And that's one of those things that we like to talk about today, since Mr. 𝘁𝗺𝗏 is an accountant, like I said, many years of experience. So the thing is, we started off today is managing your finances. Okay, so now my first question to you, Mr. 𝘁𝗺𝗏, why must people keep their finance, their accounts properly? Now, why I ask you this question and why is this topic very relevant is, I lost a lot of money, and he is the one who helped me to organize my books, not because of business, because I did not engage the right person to manage my books. So this is a very painful lesson. I don't want to tell you how much of money I lost, because my wife is probably listening to this. I don't want to get into trouble. So, but we like to share and hear from 𝘁𝗺𝗏 sir, his experience, especially helping people like me who didn't take this thing of managing their finance, their accounts properly. To you, sir.
Okay. U2K is an entrepreneur he ran a number of companies, and unfortunately, he did not keep accounts properly. So let me tell you that he lost more than #1 million. I can tell you.
I'm getting into trouble now. Huh? Cannot go home. I'll be probably be sleeping
more
out
than
there.
#1 million, and that's very painful. You know, that's very, very painful. Now let me give you another example. I'm also a consultant to Genting Islands. See, Genting Islands, you have this 𝘀𝗁𝗄𝗿, who was originally the person who started Genting Islands. He is not a person who's well-educated person, but he knows finance. And he knows how to employ the right people to help him. And that is why he built the big organizations. So that is corporate side. Now today, what we will talk about today is, today we'll be talking about individual finances.
Okay, let me add here. I think this talk, of course, we are going to talk about the big boys, the GLCs, the MNCs. They have the CFOs and finance directors who are very highly qualified. Okay, we are talking about plain Joes like you and me, SMEs, yeah, micro enterprises, individual business people, yeah, who do not, unfortunately, do not take this accounts management or finance management seriously, and eventually it comes back and bite them at the wrong time. Yeah, so that's the reason why we are now bringing this to you folks. Yeah, sir.
Okay, today we will talk about why an individual must keep accounts, keep finance. First, number one, an individual is a person, let's say he's earning about 5,000 ringgit a month, and he also got basic needs, provision you need to buy, you need to pay maybe installment or rental for the house. Now he need to calculate how much expenses I'm going to incur for this month. This is my income. Within the income, he must be able to manage himself. A lot of problem people get into problem is they simply buy. Now let me tell you, going to a supermarket and buying things, we buy a lot of unwanted things actually.
I'm a culprit.
Most of the people, I remember the old times and the new times. Even when I got married with my wife also very careful. She both of us, we used
Let
to
me stop for a while. All wives are careful. Or most wives are careful. Yeah. So leave it to the wives. Yes, thank you, 𝗂𝗁𝗿, for the advice. So, well, not to be clear. Yeah, thank you. Is it my voice or Mr. Gopalan's voice? Continue, sir.
Okay. So what happened is we plan. That means now all those people who plan their lives, they have to plan their finances. If you plan the finances, then you become successful. Otherwise, you fail. Let me tell you this. You do not know first, very simple, your income, here is your expenses, and this is the excess money. Excess money must be saved. There are many ways of saving, we are not going to talk about it. If you don't save, you will be in trouble.
Okay, now I'd like to take this question from Karen. How about those earning low, and how can they manage? They should manage. Now I will share with you my experience many years ago. Yeah, I was just a salaried person, just starting a business. In fact, even today I have that sheet where I write down every penny that I spend. They say Chettiars have their books, they write down every penny. So at the end of the day, end of the month, you do your own profit and loss. Because most people do not know whether for that particular month, was it plus or minus? Did they make money or did they lose money? Because they simply spend. Because now with credit card and all those loans and all this in place, they keep spending. Now I will share you my first investment onto a property by keeping those records. Everything I put down budget, I write down everything I spend. Number two, what are my expenses, the fixed expenses, and I will write down all my daily, because when you write down the amount of money you spend daily, of course today with the app and all that, much more easier. When you write down, you feel that pain. Hey, I spent so much of money today. Otherwise, you don't even know how much you spend. And at the end of that month, when you do your so-called your personal P&L, that will show you whether you are making money or you forget about the business part. Business is one thing, personal is another. So when I started doing that, I saved my first 10,000, and first property, of course, I like to thank my wife because I took a small loan, and I tell you, I made a lot of money because I bought that property when during the 1990s economy recession. Yeah, I'm sure some of you know the story. I saved during that period, and some of those I attended this training by Robert Allen. He is the one who teach how to buy property with nothing down. Yeah, there's a book called Nothing Down. Mr. Gopal also attended because I saw him at that training, but that time we were not friends, but I saw him, I know him as a trainer, I saw him there. So what I'm trying to say, even if you are a salaried person, low income, you need to write down every penny that you spend. Business is one, you another. Remember, you are not the same. You are two different entities. People have this mistake thinking that the business is mine. Whenever I feel like taking the money, I take. Appallah senja, urbraham boirum. Sorry for the language. So you need to be very, very clear in keeping your books. Advice, sir. Continue.
Okay, let me give you some examples that will illustrate what I'm talking about. See, there's a person who hardly finished Form 3. He worked in an electronic company. I don't want to say what his name is. And this guy used a motorcycle. And today, he has got 5-6 houses. He sent his children to the best schools. They all have been very successful. Now, another person who studied, who was a university graduate, whom I know from the 70s, he always had no money. He used to earn at that time, even a government server, the maximum is 600 ringgit. He was earning for 1,000 ringgit starting from the university. But today he has nothing. Why? Because that person who earns a lot of money doesn't write down what is the expenses, what is income. Now let me tell you this, it's not how much money you earn, it is how much money you save.
I like to add, it is not how much money you earn, it is amount of money that you save and invest. Because people who became successful, they didn't become successful by saving money. They made the saving money to grow, and that growing can only happen through investments. If you look some of the tycoons around, yeah, of course, some of you know I'm staying in Sunway, Sunway Group. He is a billionaire. Yeah, where is his money? Did he earn? No, it is purely, of course, his business plus investing into properties, into land, into hotels and stuff like that. If you look, of course, we can see so many others. And even normal Joe, don't have to talk about billionaire. People who are worth 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, 40 million. If you look, they all invested. Why? Like what Mr. Gopalan said, they earn, they save. And these people who save, again and again, I like to talk about the Chettiars. Yeah. The Chettiars are very careful. So they know where the money went. And when you know where the money went, you know the balance, and the balance is kept aside for investment. That we will talk about later, how you do that. Maybe I could even bring the sheet that I used during my younger days to keep track and how I saved that money and started my simple small investment, not only into properties, also my businesses. Now I'd like to ask you next question. Anything you want to add, sir, before I go to the next question? It's
very important that it must be a habit. Writing down, a lot of people will do for 1 week, write down all the expenses, and after that they won't do it. It must become a habit of having your income, writing down your expenses, what is the excess money you save? Very, very important. Always think about saving.
Yeah, correct. So, saving, but also you must learn to what? Earn. That's, we talk about it one of these days, how to earn and stuff like that. But when you earn, you must learn to save. Again, I repeat, not only save, you must learn to invest. It is not only for individuals, it's also for businesses. There is a theory I learned from somebody very successful who said, my business is only to create cash flow. I didn't become rich by doing business. I became rich because the cash flow allowed me to generate money by using the bank's money to invest. One more time I repeat. Yeah, this very successful person once told me, my business up, 1 year I make money, the next year I lose money, then the following year I lose money again, and then I made money, up, down, up, down, up, down. But what was consistent? Because, sir, the accounts was kept well. Yeah, the accounts were kept well, then so when the bank loaned the money, and with bank's money, he started to invest in properties and other businesses. And that's what made him rich. Remember, using other people's money. But other people, especially bank, other people don't go to along. Along means asking for trouble. Other people money means using bank's money. And bank will only loan you that money if you keep your books correct. Correct? That is the reason why now we have started a training. In fact, I'm attending this training online. Yeah, the last 2 days we have accounting training. I'm very happy because there were 30 students and we have engineers, we had physiotherapists, we had HR people, we had students attending the workshop to learn about accounting. And sir, being very experienced, shared a lot of things. I mean, I've been doing business almost 30 years. Yeah, for me, 2 things only. I only look at cash flow and P&L. The rest, I don't care. But this time, I learned how to, they call it, what you say yesterday, you were at entries. How to do the entries correctly. Where debit, where credit, why you so many things. So these are the skills that we all need to acquire to become successful. Yeah. So to add on. Now I'm going to ask you any more questions. I've got a second question to ask you, sir. Now the second question, which includes me, because he will probably hunt me because of the mistake that I have. What are some of the common mistakes businessmen, entrepreneurs, and even individuals? Can I loan money from you, sir? Karen? Can. My interest rate only 30% per month, if that's okay with you. Sorry, no license. Okay, so coming back to this. Common mistake businessman and entrepreneur or any individual do in terms of finance or keeping their accounts correct.
Okay, I have seen hundreds of accounts of individuals who went into business. Now let me start with the 𝘁𝗺 seller, or maybe you are a flower. You sell flowers. Everybody must keep accounts. What will happen normally? A 𝘁𝗺 seller, he collects the money and use it, put it in his pocket, use it. But let me tell you, every cent that you sold and you get the money, you must first bank it in. After banking it in, then when you need the money, you take the money from the bank. From the bank, the minute you use a check and collect the money.
99.999% of businessmen, entrepreneurs, young people coming into the business make this mistake.
Very bad mistake. Then they go to the bank and say, hey, look, bank, please give me money. I'm making money. Where? I can't see. You look at the bank statement. Nothing is there. Zero.
Then they are going to show personal account and all kind of things. Yeah, there is no track record, nothing. Don't know who put in, who came out. No.
So you too, Kumar, just now said a very important point, which I want to emphasize again. He said that keeping accounts is very, very important. Particularly, he said, I bought properties and so on. But what we call in the accounting language called leveraging. That means use somebody else's money, that means the bank's money, and invest in properties and all investment and make more money out of it. This is called leveraging. We will talk about this in the later more. But let me come back to this question. Once more the question.
Common mistakes businessmen, entrepreneurs or any personal individuals do in terms of managing their finance or keeping their accounts.
Okay. First, number one, most of the people who go into business are not people who are proficient in finance. Most of them are salespeople.
Unless they are doing accounting consulting. Accounting consultancy, they are accountants.
Correct.
But the rest of the folks, we are all subject matter experts in a certain area. Example, you are an very good aircon repairman, you start a business.
Yeah.
That's where, but they don't know the account.
They don't know account.
Yeah.
So they could be salespeople. Basically, very often the salespeople become entrepreneurs, or the production experts who are engineers become businessmen. When they become businessmen, they focus only on how to sell, how much sell. And the other guy
only on the business development.
Only on business development. Yeah. They recruit people, but they never plan.
Yes.
First, number one, you need to plan your life. You need to plan your business. How do you plan? No.
Sell. Too many business, no money to do the business. No money to execute the project, correct?
Exactly.
No money to buy raw materials. So because they went around selling. Normal. I've done this. I'm sure many people have done this. That's the reason why we're having this program, so that you learn from our mistakes, from his mistake, and many other people's mistake of not keeping your finances. That's why we got Sifu here. Continue, sir.
Okay. I remember, I'll give you examples. One day one man came and he said, I've got about 40-50 people working for me. I have this land, I have this all. I went to bank, they don't want to give me loan. Then I look at the financial statement, I look at this, nobody will give loan. Let me tell you, nobody will give loan.
Yeah.
The fellow is stuck. He has no money to run. Now let me tell you again, your business can make money, but yet you can collapse. This is what we call cash flow management.
Okay, I want that to be reinforced. One more time, please make that statement, sir.
Okay. You can be making profit. You can be making profit, but you can become bankrupt. Let me tell you this.
Okay, give an example. Wow. Give a situation.
Okay. This person, let us say, you're buying and selling, you're making profit, but the cash flow, you have a very tight cash flow, you have no money to buy extra. Just now you said earlier,
yes.
This guy is buying, selling, then sold on credit, and the amount outstanding is almost $1 million.
Yeah.
But you need to purchase. The money is not coming. The money will take 90 days to come. Some may not pay. Some will probably 10% of the people will never pay.
Yes.
So now you got stuck. Where? Cash flow. Cash flow stuck, the company collapses.
So,
this is happening again and again.
Two things, Remember, for me, lucky was, I always believe cash flow is the heartbeat of a business, also an individual. But these are two different entities. Cash flow, that means your cash flow is also the heartbeat of yours. The moment your cash flow is in a mess, you will go into borrowings.
Yes.
You start taking money from others. Worst thing is taking money from alone. Yeah, I have not seen any single person, who had became successful or rich taking money from alone.
Yes.
So that's what happens when your personal cash flow is not managed. Number one. Number two is we're talking about the company itself. So the company is like what Mr. Gopalan say, a subject matter expert, go out, look for business. Don't focus so much on the cash flow, although the company is profitable. Profit and loss is different, cash flow is different.
Yes.
You might be losing money,
Yeah.
but if your cash flow is good, you will be successful. Because if you have cash, you can continue to do something until you recover your loss. Again, I repeat, you might be losing money in your business, but if your cash flow is good, you have an opportunity to recover, to make it profitable. But if you are profitable, but your cash flow is in a mess, which most people get into trouble. Yeah, the last couple of months I met many people, actually the business is good, but because the managing of their cash flow was bad, no money. So cannot pay salary, cannot pay rental, cannot buy equipments, cannot buy raw material, cannot buy supplier. I got a project, but this project, if I do, I will make 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, but I can't because cash flow is in a mess. Actually, I'm profitable. Where's the money? Customer not paying me.
Correct.
So remember, so these are the things that we want to share with you continuously to create this awareness, especially now under the current condition. Many people are going into business because they have lost their job, yeah, and they are going into business. So when you go into business, going into business is very easy. You want to start an enterprise, cost you 60 ringgit, you can start an enterprise. That's not a problem. But how you manage the business, yeah? One is business development, the other one is about managing your finance. These are things that we like to educate. Yeah? If you like to know further about this, you can go to my page, 𝘁𝗂𝗍𝗿. There are some short courses, if you like, yeah, to attend. We do HR training, we do project management, we do accounting. If you like, there's some information there. You can look at it and then join. And Mr. Gopalan can handhold you to guide you even after the training, because we kind of, I think they give lifetime support in terms of questions and things like that to help you. So that is critical. Yeah, remember, profit and loss, cash flow. Two things. Continues on the common mistakes.
Yeah. Okay. So today is only an introduction. Today is only introduction. As we go on, I will take subject by subject, and you will be educated. At least you know the importance of finance in your personal life and your professional life. So we are going to personal life, how you want to be successful in personal life, how you save, how you invest. Number two, professionally, how do you improve your business, your cash flow, your financial statement, your balance sheet. All that we will be talking about in this talk. Today is the first day, so thank you very much. Thank you very much, and I would like to see more of you seeing this half-an-hour broadcast every week, so that I wish all of you to be financially successful. Thank you very much.
Okay. So from today, this Sunday onwards, the first episode at 5:05, Ting La with 𝘁𝗂𝗍. Yeah, I'll bring in speakers, consultants, trainers, businessmen to share with you what are those things that you can do, especially young entrepreneurs who are going into this field, yeah, to trying to make ends meet for yourself under the current situation. Wherever we can, we would like to help and support. Yeah, and from next week onwards, I will give you my WhatsApp number where you can. We're going to prepare a separate WhatsApp number where you can send WhatsApp to ask questions even after the talk, to see how we can support you moving forward. Yeah, this is a Sunday program. Like I said, this is episode 1, and at 5:05. Remember, tune in, lock in, put it in your calendar. You will be with 𝘁𝗂𝗍 at 5:05. Ting La. Do something, do anything. You know, half-an-hour program, by the way. Do something, do anything. It must be positive, it must be relevant. Managing your finance, managing your account to be successful, to be financially free, is the beginning of many other things in life. And before I say bye-bye to you, I'd like to thank Mr. Gopalan, who took his time to be with us, and have a great weekend. Ting La.
Thank you.
Nandri, namaskar, vanakkam. Good day to you guys.